Hey guys, it's Born Free here. I did 6 player interviews at the King of New York tournament. I'm editing them as fast as possible in order to get them out. If they are long, I will leave timestamps in the description below so you can go to the questions that are pertinent to you. Otherwise, if they're about 10 minutes, I think it's fine. Hopefully they're enjoyable. And here they are. Hey guys, welcome back to my show. It's Born Free here. We're at the King of New York 2017. I'm with my man Dieminion. This is actually a very beautiful moment because this is our 5-year anniversary. Dieminion was the first Street Fighter player I ever interviewed back at the 25th anniversary Capcom Cup here in New York City. And that was the best interview you've ever had, right?
Top five best interviews, yeah.
Top one, top two, top one or two, I think is what you're saying. So, how are you today?
Pretty good, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, pretty good. Competition-wise, probably not my best day, but it happens, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know exactly know what your scores are right now. By the time this goes out, I'm sure everybody will know. But we're not going to talk about today's competition as much as we're going to talk about some more broader questions. I want to ask you, so this season, maining Guile, you did have Fang. I think I know the answer to this question, but I'll ask it anyway. Why?
Well, the goal is to win Capcom Cup, and Fang is just not that character for this patch. You know, some people say you have to work hard with the character to make them better, which I do agree with. But there's clearly strong characters and there's clearly weak characters. And Fang is not a Capcom Cup winning character for this patch. So that's the reason why I switched to Guile. I actually don't want to play Guile. I want to play Fang, but he's not good. So I have to pick another character. And I just chose Guile. Because I was playing him in Season 1 a little bit. So I just stuck with Guile.
All right, you know what? That's interesting. We're going to go straight into a question that came from one of my buddies, which is specifically about Guile, right? So you played Guile in Street Fighter 4. You are playing Guile in Street Fighter 5. So I guess there's 2 questions. One is, which one? I think I know the answer. Which one do you prefer playing? 2 different games, obviously. Second one is, what are the differences in the character? How have you had to adapt?
Well, Guile didn't release with Street Fighter 5. So we had to wait for him to come out. But by then, people already had a grasp of their character, of their version of the character with the game. So as all DLC characters, you just have to find the best play style to integrate with the way you play the new game. So me being a Guile player for the last 7-8 years with Street Fighter 4, at first I didn't quite get how to apply his game plan. Because a lot of the characters have... He's not one of the characters that have good ground normals as opposed to his Street Fighter 4 version. His Street Fighter 4 version had better ground normals. So I was trying to actually figure out how to apply his ground normals. But then I figured out that you have to complement the normals with the boom. So you have to really use the boom. But it's hard against certain characters. It's hard to apply. It's just hard to get the game started. I should say against certain characters. It's really hard to get the game started. So like you just have. It's pretty much like there's no set game plan of how to play. Like in Street Fighter 4, there was a set way you could play, and you could have a solid strategy, and you can build on that strategy. And this game is kind of like you have to just kind of play it out and adapt and readapt on the fly. And you can't stick to one strategy for too long. You have to like switch on the fly because you don't know what the opponent's gonna do. Like there's not many mechanics and neutral. So like in Street Fighter 4, for instance, there was like focus backdash, focus attack, stuff like that. So in this game, it's just like there's 2 things that the opponent's gonna do. They're either gonna jump or dash, or they're either gonna jump to get in or dash to get in. Those are like the 2 options. So You just have to choose between one. If you think they're gonna sit there, throw a bone, and if you think they're gonna jump, just wait. So you just have to pretty much just choose which one you think the opponent's gonna do.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. You just said that you would prefer to be playing Fang. Now, if Fang was buffed, and was capable of winning, as you say, the Capcom Cup, is that the only reason you're playing Fang? What is it that is appealing to you about Fang?
I just like the character. He's different. He wasn't in Street Fighter before. He's a new character. Yeah, I just wanted to try something new because I was playing Guile for like 8 years, so I just wanted to try something new. But the gods above don't approve. So
But why Fang out of all of the characters? You just thought he was like interesting, complex, or like you find him fulfilling to play?
Probably he probably has a style that I prefer playing.
Alright, so like an archetype?
Yeah, I guess. Well, to be honest, like I played Fang for pretty much the whole season 1.
Yeah.
And I think I was coming along well with him, but then the changes came in. But I still don't think that you can be completely defensive based with Fang either. You have to know how to apply pressure. You have to know how to mix up and how to attack. And I feel like in order for me to improve in the fighting game, that I have to stray away from my comfortable play style. So I just chose Fang because he has a mix of both defensive and offensive. So I want to try to be more offensive and not defensive. So.
Okay, talking of characters, we've got a new one on the scene. Is it tomorrow? Might be tomorrow, actually, I think. Kolin. You've probably seen a few tapes or what tapes. Listen to me, I'm so old school. You've probably seen it on YouTube or what have you. Any thoughts on that character? Does that interest you at all?
She looks versatile. She has movement options. She has a double jump, command back dash, a command dash. I haven't, had a chance to like play with her actually, but she looks fun. She has standard vitality and stun, so she looks interesting. I always like to try new characters. Like as in season 1, I tried Alex actually for the end of the season, and I probably will be playing him now if he didn't get nerfed too. But I tried Alex and he got nerfed too, so it's like the characters that I like just happen to be, going down. So yeah, but I'll try her out and see. Everybody's gonna try her because she's like the new character. So I'll give her a try and just see if I like to play the character competitively.
Do you like what you? So we've had Akuma and then we've had Kolin from season 2. Do you like this sort of direction so far? Do they look? I mean, to me, they look like more interesting to watch at least.
So the characters in season 1 are not interesting, or not as interesting as these are.
I think.
I'm the interviewer.
No, I know how you are. Personally, I think there are a few characters in season 1 are pretty boring to watch. I'll throw Cammy in there. I always throw back Cammy under the bus. Kind of like I get it at a very high level. She could be interesting, but at a casual level, let's say you're watching E-League on TBS. I don't think Cammy's that interesting to watch. I think characters like Akuma and Kolin, if she can do the shit that she looks like she can do in a real match, are intriguing and interesting visually to watch. Even Urien, who everyone's complaining about, is really interesting and fun to watch. So I guess that's my point. It's sort of from a spectator's and a more casual point of view. From a pro player point of view, I mean, do you feel like there's a new direction? Do you get a sense of anything from season 2?
I feel like the way they're trying to make the characters have their own mechanics built in them. So like, Kolin is the only character with a double jump, for instance.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm thinking like down the line they might give a character an air dash or something.
Yeah.
So, like the way they're releasing the characters, they don't want to really. It seems like they don't want to really add mechanics to the system mechanics of the game, but to the characters instead.
Okay, that's actually really interesting because we're going to get onto that in a little bit. I'm actually going to skip this question because you got your character. So we got this incoming patch, right? And it's interesting that you talked about system mechanics. So I guess there's two things. There's buffing and nerfing characters. So let me ask you about that first, and then we'll talk about system mechanics. Do you feel that there are... I mean, clearly Fang needs buffing. Are there any characters that you feel definitely need nerfing?
I think the top characters, mainly the top characters, Guile, Cammy, Balrog, Laura, Urian.
Does it feel very... I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is this. Do you think that it's too early, or do you think it definitely feels unbalanced?
No. I'm not going to say it's unbalanced, because this unbalance is in every game. It's just some characters are clearly stronger than other characters. Just simply. Like, there's characters in the game that can kill you off of one mix-up and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, there's characters in the game that can't kill you off of one mix-up and a half. So, you know.
So, that's a very good way of putting it. Let's think about like broad system mechanics. Are there any sort of broad system mechanics that you think should be changed or added? You know,
just I think that there needs to be a mechanic that rewards defensive play.
Defensive play.
Yeah, because there's no for me well, not defensive players but defensive play. You know, because defense can only go as far as the mechanics that are in the game. So if there are mechanics that allow you to play good defense, then you can have good defense. But if there are no mechanics or no, you know, how should I say this for better words? In Guilty Gear, there are multiple ways to defend. There's like I don't know if you're familiar with the game, but there's like
I actually did buy it and did training mode. I know there's the what are they called, the bursts, I think.
Well, there's bursts. That's like they had a mechanic like that in Tatsunoko versus Capcom, like a burst kind of.
Oh, okay.
But there's a mechanic on block called faultless defense, and you like push them away. There's another mechanic called just defend. When you tap block at the same time they attack, you gain frame advantage instead of
like a parry?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's kind of like a parry but for block, but instead of attacking immediately, you just gain frame advantage instead of losing the frame advantage that you would when you normally block.
Right, because the V reversals at the moment they just put you back into neutral, right?
Some of the V reversals in this game don't even work properly. Like Jury, like okay, she V reversals you and it doesn't hit. It just puts a slime meter down, but it never hits. And then they slow down V reversals by 1 frame anyway.
And they can be thrown.
So
yeah, I see what you're saying.
there's that angle. There's like a push block, so to speak. And you'll see your dead angle. You pretty much on block. You just if you have 50% bar, you can use the 50% to push the opponent away from you on block. There's blitz shield when you hold. This is like kind of like a parry but with buttons. You hold the 2 buttons down and the character charges up and they absorb attack and they release attack and they attack on their own. They counter attack. They absorb an attack and they counter attack. There's multiple defensive mechanics in a game like Guilty Gear, but in Street Fighter, it's like the game is just catered to offense.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I totally get where you're coming from. That makes a lot of sense. So let's move on to. I got some questions here about some of your challenges in this game, other than the overall mechanics. You know, playing Guile and playing Guile at the moment. Who are some of the characters that give you the hardest time? Not players, but characters.
Balrog.
Yeah.
Just me being a Guile player, Balrog.
And why is that?
He can V-skill. He can just go through your boom with the V-skill.
Okay, so it just so the zoning is just pointless.
and you can't really play you can't play a confident ground game against Balrog because of the crush counter.
Ah, okay.
So you get crush counter once, and he does a combo that puts you in the corner where it's in his favor. So you can't really play a reliable ground game. You can't throw booms that much because they might V-skill or they might jump and get a full combo. I feel like you can't play a reliable ground game. Like you can't whip punish properly because the normals are slow. You can't whip punish like their buttons on reaction. And Balrog has longer normals than Guile. So he can like reach Guile and Guile can't reach him back. Or Guile has to like take a risk, a riskier option to like try to hit him. Yeah.
Try to get a counter.
So yeah. So like I would say like Balrog. To be honest, like me playing Guile, I don't have that much problems with a lot of characters in the game, but the top ones, I feel like out of the top characters, it can go either way on any character. So I feel like Guile, Laura, Urian, Balrog, Rashid, Cammy, Zangief, any top character can beat any top character on a good day. It just depends on what happens in the match. This game is like whatever happens type of game. It's not like you don't really have a solid game plan to just go in and just be confident. It's like whatever happens type of game. So
yeah, I hear you on that one.
Yeah.
So players, there's a bunch of players here. Any of them that you feel offer you the toughest challenge, or are your demon right now?
Out of the players here, I would say Smuggy's my demon right now. Yeah, I lost a Punk 5-0, but that's like a whole nother story. But I'll talk about the demon. But yeah, Smug, I feel like I haven't beaten him in season 2 yet because I just can't beat Balrog right now. So
okay, so hopefully they can find a way of balancing that matchup in the.
I mean, Guile's gonna have bad matchups. Like there's no character that's gonna have perfect matchups. This is one of the matchups that this is bad. So you either gotta pick a secondary or just try to deal with it and try to win the matchup. I feel like on top of the nuances I explained about Balrog is plus his V trigger too. So it's like that all those negatives plus the fact that he can hit you and kill you when you activate V trigger.
All right,
that's the icing on the cake.
So tell me this, right? Okay, so everyone's expecting that perhaps he'll get. I feel like everyone's expecting that perhaps he'll get like a bit of a damage nerf. But I'm sure you thought about this. Is there other characters that you think would be good as a counter pick versus Balrog? If his damage was reduced, because it's clear that once he gets in, he kind of screws everybody.
Yeah, he does the same thing to everybody, and Laura too. They do the same thing to everybody, so it really doesn't matter. You just have to pick a character that just applies a relentless offense, which is not really my style.
Yeah.
So I just have to try to find a character and try to play a different way, or like try to play the other side of the coin and just try to.
Maybe it's Laura, from what we've seen on.
Yeah, Laura is definitely one of those characters. So yeah. I would have to just suck my pride up and just go for the gusto and just pick Laura.
Fair enough. So actually, moving on to we sort of talked about this. It sounds like you're currently playing Guilty Gear.
Yeah, I play Guilty Gear at the moment.
Anything else you're playing right now?
I practice King of Fighters at the moment too.
Oh, how is that for you? How do you find that game?
It's fun. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
Guilty Gear is like the best. It's like my favorite game right now. It's fun. It's challenging. There's a lot of things to explore. It's very explorative. Guilty Gear. So it's not like it's just this game is Street Fighter 5 is just kind of like basic. Yeah. And it's not, you don't really have many options, but Guilty Gear you have a lot of options. So I started practicing Marvel 3 also again.
Oh.
After the revival.
Really? So. And is that in preparation for the new Marvel, or just because people are playing it?
Yeah, just Evo. Okay. And yeah, everybody's playing it. I used to play it back in the days too. So
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And are you, from what you've seen so far we've only seen very bare bones But are you looking forward to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite?
Of course. For those that don't know, my first competitive fighting game was Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Like in tournaments. I used to play fighting games before that, obviously.
Okay.
But like started entering tournaments was Marvel 2. So I'm actually a Marvel player.
So it's close to your heart. Well, there you go. 2 questions actually. Where are we going to see it final round?
Maybe. If I practice, I'll show up at final round.
Okay. Second question is, well, it's not a question. Do you have any shout-outs?
Yeah, shout out to the fighting game community. We're finally going to be on TV soon, Elite. So that's a really good look for the fighting game community. And that's it.
All right. Well, thank you very much, as always, man. And until next time, take it easy, guys.